Hey guys, Albert here from FSA. I'm here with my lovely friend Ammar.
Hello, it's nice to meet you. My name is Ammar. I just completed my first year at UF and I'm Indian.
All right, and we're gonna have the first bite. Let's go. Wow. Can we get a shot? Shot of the food. We got the steak burrito. All right. Ready? First bite. Here we go. Mmm.
Wow, this is really good.
All right, we're back. I know this is supposed to be a mukbang, but we got too hungry, so yeah. Now I'm gonna ask my lovely friend Ammar some questions. I'm not gonna be staring at this camera because I'd rather stare at this cute man's fine eyes. All right. So, Ammar, obviously you're a part of like UF. There's a bunch of different organizations. It's a brick house of many different organizations. One post I saw, I'll put it up on screen when they see it. Back on track. Like I saw it on your story, obviously, because you posted. Can you tell us what the organization is about? If it's like a multi-branch, like if this is specific to UF.
So, Back on Track, it's a nonprofit and its aim is to help homeless people who suffer from food insecurity. And what we do is like we bring out volunteers to like food banks or like different organizations and we like provide support. So it's across multiple states and it started in Florida, but we started a chapter in Gainesville.
Yeah.
So like the post, what it specifically was signing a contract. We're at our local masjid, which is like the place of worship for Muslims, but obviously for this anybody is welcome. And we are like a mobile food pantry.
Also, how often can these people come to this like mobile food pantry?
So our contract was for them to come like once a month,
Once a month.
and hopefully start August when
That's
school starts
amazing.
back up.
Oh my gosh. So, if anyone's in Gainesville looking for some food, in dire food insecurity, is it food security or
Food security.
food insecurity? Go see this man. But at like obviously the Back on Track organization, not just randomly. So obviously we know, for people that don't know, we know each other from high school. We participated in an AAPI Month showcase together for 2 years consecutively. One being Everything Everywhere All at Once and Replay the Moment, which was held at the Miramar Cultural Center, sponsored by Mayor Messam, Lutong Pinoy, other various sponsors, which we thank so much. Thank you, Domo Rishi. This was, of course, helped, and the main contributor of the showcase, especially helping, was, of course, Judith, myself, more on the logistics and like the field trip itself, bringing all the performers. But our main person to help contact the mayor is Ammar Mansuri, who was a part of the youth advisory committee. Let's talk about that.
So what Albert is too humble to mention is that he played one of the biggest roles in actually making the showcase happen. Like he was not just performing in the showcase, but he also was able to coordinate. I think it was like over 60 performers to be able to do it, and 2 times. So I guess you could talk more. I know it's like an interview about me, but I think
Yeah,
you should
but,
definitely mention how the showcase happened.
I don't
Like
know.
how the
It
thoughts
just
came up.
it randomly started as a thought. It's the same as So I was a part of an old dance team called Remedy. Shout out my Remedy members, my melodies, our fans, our melodies. If you didn't know, um, we were at a Broadway like a theater showcase once, and we are like, bro, why don't we just randomly like dance to Fake Love? And like randomly create like a boy group because there was already a UNI, which is like it was a co-ed group at the time. But the showcase, I think it was mostly Judith that thought of the idea. I just helped like bring it to life and like essentially like be the glue to like each performer because I felt like um for some groups they especially struggled, but it's very nice to see that our legacy is continued.
Continuing, yep.
Minus our lovely backstory. Ammar also has a long history of advocating for just a bunch, like a plethora of issues and things he really cares about and is passionate about. One being the holiday of Eid, which you could explain what Eid is and how in Broward County schools we actually was it confirmed?
recognized.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was recognized, and now it is a day off in the school calendar.
So Eid is a Muslim holiday. There's two that happen every year. There's Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha. And it's based off of the lunar year, so it usually changes every year. But right now, there's one of the Eids that happen during the school year. And a lot of other religions happen to have days off. Like, for example, there's Christmas and like there's so many other ones. But Muslims never had a day off. And the way it happened was I'm part of this organization called Muslim Student Association, and it started with actually my older sister, and they had the bright idea of trying to get a day off for Muslims because we saw it happen for so many other religions and other faiths. And from an early age, I was more of the one that would go to the meetings and see like older people like speak in front of a council or the student board to like advocate for a day off. And over the course, I think of like 5 or 6 years this went on for, I was able to see like real impact and real change happen, because by the time I think it was my sophomore year of high school, they had finally confirmed it for junior year for a day off for Eid. And from there, it sprouted my ideas of advocating for multiple things. So now a thing that I've been doing is I'm part of another nonprofit. It's called Minds Without Borders, and that advocates for mental health. So yeah.
Is this like a organization where you meet up with others who, for example, like down in the dumps, you help them by socializing, or is this like
So within that organization, there's like different methods. So they have like storytelling, but one of their larger aspects is like advocating and going to like, for example, going to Tallahassee and advocating for certain bills. And that's what we mostly do.
That's very cool. Now let me look at the next question. So going back to the showcase. So obviously I talked about my like perspective setting up, and like obviously thank you for, asking about me, even though this is your interview. But from your perspective, how was it like setting up for the showcase, especially with with the mayor? And I guess we can go start from the first year, which was our junior year.
Mhm.
Um, when MSA was already established
Yeah.
at that time. AAPIA, shout out. We were established the end of sophomore year, thanks to our lovely advisor, Bruce Klassner, Mr. Klassner, our goat. He's not gonna see this, but he's our goat. But yeah, so let's talk about first showcase, your involvement setting up. So I believe it was a spoken word poetry.
Yes. Actually, I think junior year was a song.
A
Yeah, it
song.
was a song, yeah.
Okay.
So I guess like outside of performance wise, I think I joined the team like out of like the three of us, we
Oh.
started like planning like almost right away when
Yeah.
Judith had the idea, and we never like officially talked about what our roles were, like what we were doing. It was more of like just like bricks falling into place.
Yeah.
Like we all had our own strengths and weaknesses, and I think I played more of the part of like coordinating with like other stakeholders
Mhm.
rather than like worrying more about like the performance and what they're supposed to do. And I worked like more with like Mr. Klausner with like having the stuff set up ready for the performance to be able to actually do it.
Yeah.
But outside of like the logistics wise of it, like MSA had done a nasheed, which is like similar to a song, and yeah. Oh, and we also tied like a kufia around like people's heads within like a minute,
Oh,
and that was pretty cool.
You
I never actually knew how to do it.
you also had a
until-
day. I don't know if you're talking about the same thing where you rapped.
Yes.
Or is that-
Yes,
oh,
that was at the end of the year, and I think that was senior year at the very
Oh.
end. But I actually never knew how to tie one beforehand, so it gave me the opportunity to actually learn something.
I saw it on your head. It was so cool. Because obviously, I'm not a part of that culture, and I don't obviously see how they tie up the sorry, what was it?
A kufia.
Akofia. Yeah, no, the akofia. I've never seen it like being tied before, or like I've just always thought like, wow, it's always on their head. Like it's like a staple in their culture, especially for women. Or hijab.
Hijab, yes.
Sorry, I apologize. Um,
Oh yeah, we did both. We
yeah,
did a
okay,
hijab
okay.
and a
Yeah. So I was just like, it's so cool to see not only other people try it from the Muslim culture, but also like various other students that go to EHS. Like it was very nice to see like everyone become like culturally aware, like spreading awareness to like their own cultures through our like organizations. Now, even though we like graduated,
That's what's great about the showcase.
yeah.
Awards.
So okay, so through these memories of advocating and spreading awareness to your culture, how has it particularly helped you connect with it itself? So like through our experience of the showcases, working with, the mayor, now in the future that you're working with, back on track, and I forgot the other name, but I apologize.
So, I think like a lot of students that's like from high school, like a lot of us were like kids of immigrant parents. So for us, like we were the new generation, and we had to figure out how we would reconnect back to our culture or religion. And I think us being in the position of spreading awareness about it also like played a role into us understanding more about not just our own culture or religion, but also other people's religions and cultures. And being in those shoes and like for example seeing the showcase happen, like you get to see firsthand, and not just like on the day of the showcase, but since you're planning it, you see like months and months of work like
Yeah.
behind the scenes, and like you just get to ask like random questions. Like for example, like we had a conversation about what a hijab is, who wears it, and like just things like that.
It's crazy to think time has passed so fast, like because obviously for the people that don't know, we met in freshman year online during COVID on Zoom. I thought Ammar was Amara, you know. That's a whole different.
That's a whole
that's a
other
whole
story.
other story. But yeah, we've known each other now for 4 years, which is insane to think about.
Yeah.
Like, it's a long time coming, and I'm so thankful that you agreed to this interview. But yeah, I just want to thank you so much for the interview, for being here, participating, speaking your mind. Are there any other questions or any sponsors, any orgs you want to shout out?
Shout out FSA.
Shout out
course.
FSA.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It was a great interview, and it was great seeing you again.
Yeah, I haven't seen this man in, what was it, 2 months? Has it been
Since
two,
January.
3 months, 4 months. This is being recorded May 12th, 2025, Mother's Day. So obviously this is late, but go tell your mom Happy Mother's Day.
Tell her you love her.
Yeah, and get her flowers.